Hi, in this video we are going to see how to grow the spinach called Amaranthus Aritis. It belongs to the amaranth family. This spinach is called in different names and it's grown in different parts of the world for its health benefits. We don't need a big garden space to grow this spinach. It can be easily grown in the containers and it requires very less space. The seeds of this plant is in black color and it will be very tiny like this, and it's 1/3 the size of the mustard seeds. By mistake, if we drop the seeds in the ground, it's very difficult to collect it. If we are growing this spinach very frequently, then the best way is to harvest our own seeds and use it for growing it, or we can also buy the seeds from the local seed shop, and last option will be to order it online. The first thing we need is a container to grow this plant. I have taken a simple plastic container and this can be used to grow the plant. This is not a garden container, so it's not having any holes in it. So I'm going to put the holes in the bottom and in the sides so that the excess water will drain. Now I am adding the soil. The soil should not have any stones or any hard particles in it. And now I am adding the old aged cow manure, as the plants can be harvested in less than 30 days, anywhere from 20 to 30 days. We just need to add enough manure in the beginning that is good enough for the entire growth of the plants. And once again I am checking for the small stones or hard particles in the top of the container, because that can impact the plant's growth. I have filled the soil, leaving 1 inch space in the top so that later if needed we can add additional manure or we can add additional soil in the top. Now the container is ready. Seeds can be just sprinkled like this in the top, and we don't have to bury the seeds like we do for other big plants. For this size container we just need 2 pinches of seeds. Each pinch will have hundreds of seeds because the seeds are very tiny. Generally we don't need to add additional soil in the top after we sow the seeds, but I'm just adding little bit in the top. Now watering. First watering is very important after we sow the seeds. We can pour the water with our hands gently like this, and we should not use the hose or we should not use the cups to pour the water, because that will disturb the seeds and the seeds can be pushed to the one side of the container. Now it is after 3 days, and last night I have covered the top of this container with the plastic bag to keep the soil warm, because the night temperature it went little cold. Also the spinach plants like warm weather, so covering the plastic bag will make sure the soil is warm, and it will also help in the germination. Spinach seeds will germinate faster. We can see the growth in 2-3 days itself after we sow the seeds. And here I can see the seeds started germinating. We can see the soil has crack in the center of the container. That's because after the first watering I lifted the container and I kept it in a different spot, so that has created a crack in the container. Seeds are growing very evenly and it's growing all over the container. Here we can see some group of seeds germinated and it's pushing the lump of the soil. Today is 8th day. The plant's growth is 1 inch high. From now on the only work we'll have is watering. The compost and everything is already added when we did the container preparation. Even the weed plants will not grow, because the plants, the spinach plant will not give opportunity for the weed plants to grow, because the spinach plant is growing faster and also it's growing little crowded. If we see the plants are too crowded, then we can do some thinning and we can remove some plants. After 11 days we can see the new leaves started coming, and whichever plants got space and sunlight, it has grown bigger, and in the crowded spot the plants are growing little slower. This spinach might have other varieties of amaranth plant seeds mixed in it. I see a red spinach plant growing here too. Morning the plants were standing straight and they were looking good, but now there was a heavy rain, so the plants have fallen like this, and this should not affect the plants. Now after few hours, now the water has drained in the container and the plants are getting back to the normal position. Now after 13 days the plants are back to normal, and any plant after rain we can see the difference, because plants get more energy from the rainwater, so they grow a little bigger and they look very energetic. Now we can see that the spinach has grown little crowded and there is no space for the weed plants. So far I have not seen even a single weed plant in this container. So dealing with the weed, it's easier when we grow these fast growing spinach plant. Today is 20th day. We can harvest the spinach now or in a week's time before it over matures. Meantime, to make sure we get continuous supply of spinach, I am preparing another container, and in this one I am planting the seeds by mixing it in the sand that I collected from the seashore. And this is a traditional way of planting spinach seeds. This will help the seeds to stay in the same spot when we water. Like this, we need to sow the seeds in new container every 2 weeks so that we get the continuous supply of spinach. Now in the first container, I noticed there are some leaves that are damaged by the pest. Since I water and monitor the plants on daily basis, I could see any issues in the first day itself, so that we can take necessary action and we can control the pest. So this is a pest that was feeding on the plant leaves, and it can be killed by putting in the water. But if we notice any other different pest problem, then we have to take necessary action immediately before it spreads to all other plants. This is the growth of the second container after 2 weeks. Now the first container, it's not at all visible. The plants have grown like a bush. If we harvest it now, we are going to get a bunch of these plants that we get in the shop. I noticed that the first container was already harvested by the family members when I was out. But still this container can be used for another 1 or 2 more harvest. Now it is a harvesting time. This is the first harvest for this second container, and we have to cut the stems like this so that it will promote new growth and we can harvest it for 1 or 2 more time. We should not be pulling or we should not be removing the entire plant from the container. This is the first container. I am doing the second harvest in it. If we maintain the plants properly, we can do 2-3 harvests in a same container. So you can see this much spinach leaves has been harvested from these 2 containers, and it gives very happy feeling when we grow our own plants and when we harvest with our own hands. Growing this spinach is very easy and it can be harvested in 20 days. If you don't have a garden space, you can definitely grow the spinach in the container. Please try it at your home. If you like this video, please hit the like button and share this video with your friends. If you have any questions, comments or feedback, share it in the comment section. Thanks again.